So this was one of the most weird episodes of the Compulsive Gambler I think we've had so far. It was weird. I mean, at the end of the day, you can kind of sum this episode up as basically they're going up against each other. There's 9 basically trials or tests that they're going to do, but it's all decided by a dice roll. And essentially, the idol is letting Yumiko win because she wants her to basically have the advantage of her, and then she would come out and get this like explosive victory. The issue is one of the tests is essentially you have to guess the birth month of the random person that is chosen. And this idol being someone who's memorized every one of her fans and that only her fans were basically allowed to buy tickets to this event, she's like, now I'm going to win. And Yumiko clues in on this, and it ends up being Mary who gets picked, if it was luck of the draw or if it was just Yumiko was good enough with a dice that she could roll what she needed to. When Mary comes up, she's like, I don't know her birth month, and she believes Yumiko does. I just love this kind of like battle because you're thinking like, why is she just writing a 6? Because it's very easy to tell what she's writing on the card. So she's thinking, well, she wants me to basically not be able to guess, so maybe she's trying to hide it, so maybe she was actually writing a 9, but it was upside down, and it's this kind of like quick battle, and you're trying to think like, what exactly is she doing? So she ultimately writes a 9, Yumiko writes a 6, and it turns out Mary's birth month is like March. She had no idea what Mary's birthday was either, and this just kind of shocks Seattle because she's like, what were you playing at? And ultimately it was just like, I just wanted to make sure we didn't have the same month because a tie would guarantee my loss. It's just like, Yumiko, favorite character easily just because of how just smug and just manipulative she truly is. I love it. But it's very interesting because Yumiko is someone who doesn't care about money, doesn't really care about losing or winning. It's just, she wants to be able to gamble and she tries her best to win, but if she does lose, it's just like she needs to go to a different game. And she, basically, the characters are trying to bribe her, like, with 50 million in money here, and essentially was like, hey, just don't play the tape, and she's just like, nah, we're gonna play the tape. But it's interesting because I think it represents these Idol fans so well. Even after hearing how much she hates her fans, the Idol fans are still gonna eat it up, because at the end of the day, they fell in love with someone who they never even knew anyway, so it doesn't really change their image, and if anything, it might just play into some of their fetishes kind of a thing. And that's just how insane the idol industry is, and how just manipulative, and even if they know the truth, so many fans will still eat up their work, so it doesn't even ruin her career. And I quite like that, because even there was a moment where they're basically having this dance competition, and they do the most ridiculous animation I've seen in this show so far, where it's just like this slideshow of showing her kind of like singing and dancing, but it's just like a still frame and they're kind of panning it, and then you'll just see the idol fans just kind of like bashing their glow sticks in the air, and it's the most ridiculous animation that I'm not quite sure if it was done intentionally to make it seem stupid, or if they were just kind of short on time and they didn't have time to properly animate it. But either way, it worked to its advantage because it was so stupid, it just represented the idol industry in such a beautiful way that had me laughing non-stop there. But I quite like this because Yumiko is someone who could easily get out of debt anytime she wants, but she wanted to stay a house pet because it just allowed her to get into some interesting situations. But now she's abandoning her house pet tag so she can go up against someone in the student council, and it's going to be a public match, which he can't kind of deny apparently. And this is interesting. Yumiko is such a wild card because no one even knows, like even us the viewer, we never really know what she's going to do at any given moment because she just wants to gamble, she wants to have fun no matter the cost and no matter basically the wager, but it's like you never know what she's going to do, and her abandoning her house pet tag there was not expecting that. I just thought she was going to move on to some bigger dreams or maybe bigger gambling matches, but it's like, this is going to be interesting, this next match, because it's literally, if she wins, he has to take the blame of basically giving this tear note, kind of like starting this whole debacle here. But if she loses, that's going to be interesting. I mean, Compulsive Gambler, even when it's at its lowest, like I would even say this might be one of the lowest episodes of the series, even when it's at this lowest, it's so ridiculous, it's still fun. Like, literally, I think the scene where they're just, like, bashing their glow sticks in the air and it's just a slideshow animation, that says it all. It's so stupid that it works, and I love the series for it because all the characters are just absolutely ridiculous. Some of the faces in this episode were absolutely creepy beyond reason. The idol stole the show with that one. And Yumiko's smugness and just kind of like, it almost feels like she's a horror villain at times, the way they animate Yumiko and just draw her. It's so awesome, and I just love these matches. I really don't have like a favorite moment in this episode just because it was a very weird gambling match. It was almost like a game show, but I think the game show format worked to make it feel just so different from other things that we've seen, and it's leading us into something so damn crazy that I'm excited to see if Yumiko is going to come out on top, because she has lost before. It's not like she's undefeatable, but she's so damn good at what she does. She can kind of read into the situation at hand and always gives her the advantage more times than not. but I'm excited to see what ultimately is going to happen. So what does everyone think is going to happen? Do you think Yumiko's going to be able to beat this guy, or is he going to beat her and it's going to cause some trouble for her down the line? Let me know some of your thoughts on this episode and what you think is going to happen down in the comment section below. And before you leave, smack that like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.